Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Victory Road Unite Clash number 10.
We're here. I'm excited, feeling good, and there we have it. Some two superstars right before our very eyes. They had to fight their way, claw their way to the finals, and let's see what's going to come out. It looks like a potential Slowbro would be fun. That's not one we got to see before.
I would like to see it, one of my favorite tanks in the game right here, but please, can you guys in the chat, just give some love to Steph of Anime. This is, her first time on the Victory Road Unite, Pokemon Unite, we should say, of course, because you've actually done some work with Victory Road for VGC, for Sword and Shield, but for Unite, this is your first time commentating with me, and I'm here with like 10 under my belt, so it's nuts. Steph, you're doing a wonderful job, so chat, yeah, give her some hype. And then, of course, hype up your favorite team, or just both of these teams, because that's what we want to see. We want to see a good match. So right now, Indie Bear very much expected to go with that Hoopa, so that green check mark finally going to hit it right at the last second. I don't think there was any question there, but other than that, we are not going to see that Slowbro that we were hoping for, of course. You have Blissey in here, you have your somewhat tanky Blastoise. It just seems that Slowbro's time is not here for the spotlight, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you gotta go with what you think the more consistent pick is gonna be, but, you never know until it's locked in there, so maybe one day we will see a Slowbro on one of these teams here today, but with 10 minutes on the clock, let's begin the first match of the finals out the gates. These two teams go. We've got Gaimin Gladiators versus God Squad, and right away we are gonna see those two Lucario, typical standard 1-1-3 set. We do have Greninja on God Squad opting for that jungler role, and otherwise, it's time to see, how these early skirmishes pan out.
Yep, Cramorant in the central area for Gaimin Gladiators right there. That's Toon. Definitely been surprising us with that Cram today, but we love to see it. Zealot, you guys, amazing Lucario player. So to see him go hand in hand with the top 3 Lutano of Lucario players, this is going to be a treat. So definitely we'll keep our eyes on that top path when we can. Of course, when it's right. There's a lot also going down on this bottom path, of course. You usually do have that 3 here on the bottom path, of course, because when you talk about 1-1-3, that's what the number 3 means. There's going to be 3 on that bottom. And so right here, we're just sort of seeing all the things. I would say this is kind of how that first minute opens up in so many matches, right? We have that top path, everybody vies for their experience, then they go back for those A-Poms if they need to, if they didn't get them beforehand. Same with the bottom path, and then they go back, get this Corphish, and then we set up for that 850 Combi and Vespiquen combo to be served up on a silver platter.
Yeah, you can really see both teams respecting one another in how carefully they are choosing to approach this match. You don't see some overly aggressive plays at all, really keeping it steady. Those bees went so quick, so fast. We've got Goof with a nice 20 points right here, but no early scores, But we do see God Squad's Zealot looking to get that early cap right there, collecting. Oh my gosh, that was not a little cap at all. That was a big 27. Normally, you do try to see Lucarios get those little bits of scores here and there, but instead, again, a very defensive start to this match here. And so now we do have Zealot with a 1-level advantage over this Lucario, but with that Cramorant right behind, it's going to be, it's still going to be something you have to very carefully watch and then see as those little APOM get secured.
Yeah, higher stakes, higher pressure right there, and Zealot, wonderful job. If you can stay toe-to-toe with Lutano or out-level him, that's really nice. But we're still early on, you guys. We just got past that 8-minute mark on the clock right here, so 2 minutes down. We got a lot left to go, but Pokemon Unite is fast-paced, as we all know, and we've been definitely seeing that this tourney. This has been like a really good example of fast-paced Unite matches today, so anything can happen. We are kind of doing that song and dance, and sometimes it really does look like a dance. Look at Anonymous right there, going to be going around in circles like that. It's just one of those things. Sometimes that may even actually help you. It's surprising, Steph, but you might actually be excited to know that, like StarCraft players, for example, before a match begins, they'll actually hit a bunch of keys, usually going back and forth between like 2 keys on the keyboard. They warm up their hands. So there is a potential for that for Unite. Otherwise, it's just the song and dance. It's just getting ready because, you might have your finger on that joystick ready for when that objective pops. You want to be there the millisecond that it comes down.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And yeah, with 6 seconds to go for that first Dreadnaw objective, we see the teams kind of split here, but then there it is, the hyperspace hole coming out from both teams. It's time to go play at the Dreadnaw. It's time to position. It looks like we've got Zugrug starting it, but now the teams are circling around and getting ready to get those KOs if possible. Oh, there's that Greninja ultimate, and oh my goodness, look at all those KOs that are coming in. God Squad securing that Dreadnought fight right there.
Yes, that was the Water Burst Shuriken, ladies and gentlemen. That's Anonymous there with that Greninja, pulling off that Unite in the nick of the time, I would say, in the nick of time. There you go. And with Water Burst Shuriken like that, you're not only just kind of have that big, it's like a way to enter, you know? So when you want to enter that team fight, it's coming in with a bang. And so, wonderful job, everybody. I mean, full pockets already on that Greninja, and we're looking at about 6 minutes on the clock coming up. So this is good. This is set up very nicely for God Squad, but you know GG's not going to let them get away with that because they are sticking close behind them at that 56.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still so close in score, actually, before that little dunk from God Squad. I mean, there was still a 1-point difference. Like, you really see it being neck and neck. Look at those KOs! Gaimin Gladiators knocking out 3 of God Squad's opponents and knocking out that top-level goal just in time for that next objective, right? We do see Zugrug and Blastoise going in for those bees. There's Goof getting that Vespiquen, getting those levels, and securing that next objective. Now, what's going to be interesting to see if they're going to choose to escort. It does look like most of the team is instead opting for farm and reposition, but Blissy's starting to back away as well. You know, we do have Lutano being a little bit aggressive here, but that Hoopa's not making it easy for Lutano to get those extra scores in.
That's right. Now we see kind of this all-hands push right here. It's almost a full send if that team was playing right, because now Goof is going to go ahead and take out Hoopa right here. Luckily, you do have the advent of the hyperspace hole on the goal. You can bring people down, but that was not without the chance for GG to get in some more points, which they do. Leaving that bottom goal, that T1, at 1 point to break. So whatever the overcap might be, it could be high, has the potential.
Yeah, I know you definitely want to take advantage when you have that nice ability to overcap like that. And oh, there are the Unite moves flying. There's the Rings Unbound, getting those KOs. Gaimin Gladiators putting a lot of pressure right now, making God Squad have to back up, just try and get some health recovery. Zealot, I don't know if Zealot's gonna make an escape. Oh, maybe so, actually. No, not able to go back to base. Unfortunately, when you do get damaged, you're not able to. And Gaimin Gladiators added enough force to be able to secure that Dreadnaw. That was intense.
So as we were talking about a match that was a lot closer, Gaimin Gladiators has now turned this around in just about a minute and a half or so, you know, maybe a little bit more than that. And that's what we're talking about with Unite, right? The fast pace of it. That means also that God Squad has the exact same potential. So you guys, keep your eyes glued. Do not count anyone out. I'm telling you. Gaimin Gladiators, I salute you, but God Squad, we want to see it come. So here it is. This is going to be everybody but that Lucario there, which is Zealot, going to be taking that top path. He will actually back up. Going to restore, you know, just kind of refresh and everything.
Look at the sliver!
Yes, the sliver of health from Anonymous. Steph is right, because we are getting into a lot of close calls here, and these are plays that are crucial. We're coming down to the wire.
Oh my gosh, it always gets me going right there when you just escape with just a little bit of your life remaining. The pressure still, you know, on with Gaimin Gladiators right here. They're trying to get those knockouts so they can do that big overcap. You know, we see those full pockets starting, and oh, Lutano tried to get that 40 in, but was stopped short. So there we go, getting pushed. There's that knockout from Blissey from that Blastoise. And while this is all happening, there is the Rotom objective at the top. So big push is happening on bottom. Overcaps from God Squad happening on top. There's lots happening all over the map.
Yeah, you had a Hydro Typhoon, I was trying to say, coming in from Blastoise. That was from God Squad right here. And it did pay off, you know, it did kind of stop some of those things, but then you notice that Gaimin Gladiators was still able to sort of go around that. So it's like no matter what resistance was coming up, Gaimin Gladiators sort of had their minds on that mission, which was to break that bottom path goal. And now, luckily, God Squad is going to have this Rotom right here. Not going to secure, or escort that in. So Gaimin Gladiators will just have their hands full for momentary time limits here. But then, obviously, you can hyperspace hole on that goal. Get ready for that Dread.
That was perfect timing to finish off that Rotom and then take that teleport. I was nervous for a second there that teleport was going to go away, but that's how you have it, down to the millisecond. And there is the Dreadnaw fight. I mean, God Squad's not even close to that Dreadnaw, so Gaimin Gladiators is going to take it.
You are right, Gaimin Gladiators. You're looking solid, but hey, we're at 255 to 112. You know what that means. If you get a hundo Duncan, you're going to be really close if you're God Squad. You just need a little bit more of that math on your side, though, so you need a few more points after it. But that is certainly not outside of the realm of a comeback. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see your hype in the chat for that Grand Finals. This will be the first Grand Finals final stretch of today.
Here we go. The positioning is strong right now with Gaimin Gladiators, but we see Godsquad coming in from above, a bit of a different spot. We also do see some retreating. You know, it's a little bit interesting here. We do see the team kind of spreading out, trying to throw Gaimin Gladiators for a loop. Which direction is the team going to come from? And it looks like they're not able to kind of nail down just one person here just yet. So both teams are still up. Okay, there's Blastoise. Oh, and there goes Blastoise on God Squad's team. And here we go. All of the Unite moves are flying. The rings and bounds are here. This is intense. This is, you could see the buddy barriers coming into play right here.
That is right. That Zapdos now at that 50%. You guys, we got to see who's going to go ahead and take this. But you're obviously noticing a few players drop from God Squad. But just like that, Zealot will go ahead and pick up that KO. Notice, of course, also the score. Zealot being the only one on God Squad who has dumped in right now. That's going to be Gaimin Gladiators to secure the Zapdos at the last moment right here. Unfortunately for God Squad, that would have been the push that they really wanted, so we can now see a beeline towards the goals, but also towards the players who you can take out. So Hundo Dunkins, who's ready to eat them donuts? Pokemon Unite, it runs on Hundo Duncan.
Gaimin Gladiators is hungry today, and we saw some really great defensive plays coming in, opting to first knock out God Squad before, you know, just going for those goals. You know, you often see as soon as you take out Zapdos, you run, but instead Gaimin Gladiators decided we're going to knock out God Squad in every capacity before going for the rest of those goals. And now we do see Blastoise v Blastoise, God Squad able to take out Gaimin Gladiators' Blastoise, and yeah, the points are all over the map. This is going to be a tough one. I don't, you know, it's a tough climb, but with, you know, 400 points, I mean, it's not completely out of there, but with 10 seconds, now I think it might be. Yeah.
Right. That was the difference maker, was that time, because they could have done it if you maybe had this like major push with full pockets. It again, that would be a tall order too, so it wouldn't be easy, but definitely not with that 10 or 15 when you started saying it. That was kind of the key. And so it looks like Gaimin Gladiators, they will go ahead and take that first game, which we'll see that score breakdown, but you know that they are the winners right here. So our final score right here, coming to 531 for GG to 112 for God Squad.
GG's, a beautiful 127 points, 126, 195, tons and tons of points getting scored in, and we do see Zealot, that Lucario coming in and, you know, doing some great work, but unfortunately the rest of the team not able to score. You know, the defense was there to keep the rest of the team from scoring. You know, that's unfortunately the tough part, is, you know, as much damage as you might have, you know, you do see right here, it was very neck and neck in that early game. It took until the middle, you know, and that when you're looking at that mid game, you're starting to see a lot of the differences in each Pokemon's, you know, special passive abilities, their moves, you know, when you start to get unstoppable, when you start to get those moves that really allow you to be a powerhouse. And so, you know, they played very carefully early on. It was very neck and neck. Look, 26 to 27, 56 to 62. And then at the end with Zapdos, they were just able to finish the job.
That is right. So notice right there, that's the picture of the match, because we were excited, you know, that first 4 minutes, we were looking at it saying, hey, this is very even. We like to see this. And it was just a snowball effect afterwards. Unfortunately, God Squad not taking that zap and making something happen there. That changed a lot of things, but we can see the damage breakdowns. Here on screen, we can see, obviously, Zealots representing for God Squad still. That was to be expected, but also Blastoise hanging on in there. You even see that 48K from Hoopa, so that looks nice. But you got to hand it to Toon. I mean, the multi-tool of Pokemon Unite can play anything. 82 on a Cramorant. Are you kidding me?
That's insane. Cram does damage. So much damage. And yeah, you know, looking at that poor Blastoise on God Squad's time, not able to get any HP recovery, but really there was just so much going on in that match. Really stuck.
Yeah, I'm seeing that our chat actually was just the game in general was saying Gladiators are on a roll today with their matches. I think that Gladiators actually, they really do thrive when they have a major win on an official broadcast. We did see them do this same exact thing. I believe it was for the February finals when they won that first tourney. When they have that motivation, when they have that momentum going with them, they often join our VR Unite the next day and just start steamrolling with that. And so Gladiators, I'm sure you're celebrating out there, and I salute you. So thank you for showing us, you know, obviously a wonderful high level of play, masterful skill. God Squad, though, I hand it to you, man. You're holding off these juggernauts, especially 4 minutes into the game. And that's like the early game. There's a lot going on. with Gaimin Gladiators in the early game, they can apply that pressure already, whereas some other teams may not be as fierce in the early game. It's just hit and miss, of course, depending on who the team is. But, God Squad, I really like what I'm seeing. And so just keep it up. But this time, now we have to see if we can stop the snowballs. Again, it's a tall order. So, like, I'm not going to say that'll be easy going up against these juggernauts. But the Gladiators, the God Squad, we have it. We have the recipe here for maybe seeing a different game too. Let's execute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Yeah, really. And, this is a few hours into this tournament. And, again, it's like not just that skill, but, they got here at all of this time with all of that skill. And, you might be feeling tired. So you had to have a lot of patience, that early games being so neck and neck, so defensive. You can't rush. And I know that whenever I'm competing, sometimes like you get so tired, you just want to get to the next thing, but you have to hold that patience and, find your openings. And that's the thing with Gaimin Gladiators is it's this high level of fighting. It's almost like when you're working out like a high intensity workout, and you need to find your moment to push, but it's a tough climb to get up there.
Just to answer our chat from Pika Trainer, Hundo Duncan's usually best served with some AO sliders. That's generally what I think, because if you're running with donuts and stuff, you might want a little bit smaller of those burgers. So maybe just throw in some AO sliders in that final stretch. You want to get some of those Hundos, but even those smaller point values will double. So again, not full-on Hundo hamburgers right there, but those AO sliders are nice because you get even 10 points is going to double to 20. Right? So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for those hundos, and then you just start back capping as much as possible. You start ferrying on in anybody with any point values at all, because at all doubles, it looks good. So yes, it is best of 5. Thank you to Gamma for answering that. That's our TO here on the scene. Please thank him in the chat if you're watching and enjoying the tourney today. I'm so sorry, my voice. It is the grand finals. It's going out, but I'm here with you, okay? I'm sticking with it. Don't mind me. So, Steph, we're now locking in the players right here. Goof going to be switching it up. No longer running the Blastoise, but instead taking it to the early days of that Venusaur.
Ooh, yeah. And, I had a feeling this might happen. We saw earlier today that Zealot not only rocks an awesome Lucario, but also a Machamp. Oh, but moving around. But I have a feeling we might see the Machamp come to play. That would be really exciting to see Machamp's fun, or maybe Lucario. Oh, nope. Deciding, actually, we're going to go Lucario. But, I thought that we might be able to see. And, yeah, we are about to enter Game 2 of a best of 5. Gaimin Gladiators did take Game 1, but here's Game 2 to see where the adjustments are made. Everybody is broken into the set in that mentality, ready to play, and I'm just looking forward to seeing a really good match. We didn't see any changes on the team compositions, just kind of trying to make it work and just, have the better plays. Sometimes it really just comes down to you have to play the tools differently that you're given. So with 10 minutes on the clock, Dr. K, here we go. We are ready to begin.
Yeah, she's referring to no changes on God Squad, of course. We did point out the change for Gaimin Gladiators. Yes. It won't be too big, although Blastoise and Venusaur, it's mainly just the level 9, that when you think about that, the disparity between those and the similarities between those. I do want to say it's a little bit of caster's conjecture here, perhaps, but you might be looking at somebody like Zealot and presuming at least that maybe Lucario is the more comfortable pick. If you're going up against Gaimin Gladiators, especially in the grand finals, it might not be the best thing to leave it up to chance. So if you were looking to run to that Machamp, you would want the utmost confidence, and it may be that they have it with Lucario, whereas in the earlier game, they could throw you off. You had that element of surprise in throwing people off with the Machamp, but maybe, just maybe, that's what's the thought. Again, that's caster's conjecture.
Wow, you saw that Chansey saved by Hoopa taking a berry right there. Oh my gosh, they were almost able to take down that Chansey, but it shows that Hoopa's ability to just bring those berries to you really helped out right there. That was what a start to this 1-1-3 setup that we've got going on. We've got 5 seconds going to the bees right here. We've got Greninja and we've got Zealot over here ready to kind of try and see if they can take it, but that one's so quick, as fast as they come.
Right. Oh, yes, that Hoopa, you kind of consider it. Oh, first of all, we want to point out Zealot actually going to be early taken out here. It's not the end of the world, of course. You got that early respawn timer, but man, was it clutch. But yes, Hoopa, it is a passive, but it's almost like an active passive because that Magician, that's the name of that ability, you do have to actually push in the joystick to get that, and so you use that, or if you're on mobile, of course, you just tap that berry, but it can sometimes take off the points, it can sometimes take off the berry for speed instead, so you may be looking at some of those variables as well. Indeed, now looking to invade once again and just see if we can get some of these last hits on that creep, that wild Pokemon that are in the central area and then going to be brought down.
Always so fascinating to see those invade strategies, because even if you get knocked out, you are providing a huge distraction, and it took 2 to 3 of them just to be able to get that Hoopa out of there. So yeah, now we do see on God Squad side just trying to get those odd no's, trying to get that farm. I can definitely see a bit more aggression coming out from both teams. We saw they were playing very, very defensively in game 1, and now we're definitely seeing some more hyper attacks going in, trying to kind of bait the other player going onto their side, coming back. It's quite interesting to see.
Yep, there's going to be that mini Dread right there. So you take out that Audino, then you prepare for that 720. That's going to be the Combi and Vespiquen, once again, served up on a silver platter, just like those AO sliders, then the Hundo Dunkins, you guys, we are eating tonight. So there it is. Nice burst of XP, goes down quick, and then you all start realigning, and you get ready for this Dread. Usually this is where we'll see the hyperspace hole. It's not a given, but usually hole on the goal is next thing to expect.
Yep, and there you called it. Right then and there, 3 seconds on the clock until the Dreadnaw. All of the teams have come to play. It does look like God Squad Zealot is actually opting to go up top. Potentially looking to go and secure that Rotom instead. Not confident in being able to get the Dreadnaw right there. Gaimin Gladiators, a strong positioning, forcing back. Yep, and there you go. Gaimin Gladiators able to secure that Dreadnaw. And it looks like Zealot is going to overcap up on the top lane a little bit and then going for that Rotom. So interesting decision right there to not even contest that.
Yeah, it's the trade-off. I mean, we're going to have to see if that pays off, but as it stands, it did look like it was a little bit devastating. I mean, you would have liked maybe one of your stronger players, too, Zealot, to be in there. Get your hands dirty, and get into this team fight. But we're going to see Lucano right now. Speaking of Lucarios, top 3 Lucario player, also throwing down that Aura Cannon, create the pressure, then go on in and then get on out, right? Zealot, though, trying to make something happen here in that central area, but Toon wants to punish. Said, hey, I need some of these buffs, too, all right? This is my turf. So Toon, letting them know who's boss.
Yeah, with that 2-level advantage there, that was a rough one to win, but it was definitely a good attempt. The Rotom is still on the field. We do see the teams spread out a little bit. We've got Lucano looking to see if there's an opening for a score there, and then backing away because there is that Hoopa and that Blastoise on God Squad's team kind of ready to play. And so we are seeing a team fight right now come in. We've got Bliss helping out with that assist, but does seem like Zealot's able to get everyone kind of low. Oh, and then Greninja comes in. I don't know if it was enough to get those KOs, but we did see 2 knockouts coming to Greninja and Lucario.
Yes, God Squad, probably not liking that. Those are 2 of your stronger right here for your attackers, your all-rounders that can make that progress. And now we got that Gatling Gulp Missile for Gaimin Gladiators. That's Toon throwing down with that Unite move from Cram. Gonna secure the Rotom and really, I would say just make this big offensive, this big push. So now that Rotom touches down with ease, they can take their time and say, hey, how do we want to backcap this? Maybe pick up some of those points that are on the ground, get the smaller point values first, then let Toon pick it up with this 50. See how they're doing this, right? They wait until that last bit, then you dunk in that 50.
Yeah, really, really nice play. We do see the Audino's now spawning on the field, and it looks like that God Squad's Blastoise is going to go for it. And then we do have, there it is, the rings unbound for that second Dreadnaw fight. Gaimin Gladiators surrounding, and it does look like they're able to capture that Dreadnaw before God Squad's even able to get close to that Dreadnaw.
Right, yeah, because you didn't see really any hands on deck, was it, for
No,
God Squad there?
none.
So Gladiators, you gotta hand it to them. I mean, Gladiators are all over the map. They are all over this game right now. So when you look at the clock, right, we're looking at the score and the clock right here at this stage. We're going to be transitioning into that final stretch in about 2 minutes. You certainly can come back, but it's becoming taller and taller of the order. It's becoming that score gap is a lot higher. Now you're going to use this Hydro Typhoon and the Rapid Spin right here as Blastoise to try to bring down that ultimate Cram, but it's not going to go down. So, unfortunately, now you're out for that. If you have a last Dread, you may have time for it, but definitely save it for that Zap, probably, if you're going to use that Hydro Typhoon again. Zealot throwing down that the Aura Cannon will bring down Lucano with the help of the teammates around here. Goof GG trying to now be the lone Gladiator until that hole hits the goal to bring out some more backup.
Yeah, interesting play. We see the rings unbound go wild. It's a little bit before the next objective, but just trying to gain some advantage on this team fight, get some knockouts. But unfortunately, Gaimin Gladiators is able to do 3 KOs, knock out that Greninja, Blastoise, and Lucario Lutano going in for those jungle buffs. But yeah, you know, with 3 seconds, you know, you typically want to see those unites a little bit closer to when there's an objective fight and when everyone's right there. But, you know, tried to get a bit of an advantage and not able to.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if God Squad can kind of pick up the pace here. Maybe if they get that Rotom, there'll be an opportunity for some more dunks. It would be a little bit hard. I think Gaimin Gladiators just kind of has their heads in the game. They've got their bodies on the line on all the spots, you know, because it's like we're all over the map. Right here, you have Lutano kind of off-laning to pick up those. Zug is taking the center, and then you got the other 3 taking up that top. And so certainly putting the pressure where they need to, even sending God Squad back with the hyperspace. Luckily, they're able to jump back on in here. We'll see if they can make something happen. It's still to be determined, folks, and now a score on the bottom.
Yeah, and there you have it. We do have those last couple of objectives. Here's a huge team fight happening. We've got Goof, you know, using that pedal dance, trying to just have some crowd control right here. Gaimin Gladiators on that. Look at that. We do see the flag coming up on the map as well, and going after that Rotom. There's 18 seconds left until the final stretch, so that's going to be a nice distraction right there that Gaimin Gladiators has created for God Squad. They have to make a decision. Do they let that Rotom go in, or are they just going to try and finish that off with 6 seconds? It looks like Hoopa is going to, yeah, okay, they're going to just let it go in. And now here we are in the final stretch. Points are officially doubled. This is a tough one. So much aggression, just chasing after whoever is by themselves. Zealot having to retreat a little bit here. Indy hovering around that Zapdos, not ready to fight just yet. We do got Toon fighting off. Oh man, Dr. K, what do you think?
Well, certainly with that Rotom at the last second, I mean, it was really that perfect storm for Gaimin Gladiators. They can now bring down Blastoise as well, by the way, but that allowed Lutano to just go ahead and hundo Duncan right there on that top path because that Rotom touched down. So it was just like a Zapdos, a charged goal, and then you can just come on into this fight with that rings unbound. So again, we've seen this time and time again. Lutano, just a beast, taking that top path goal at the last second, really, when that final stretch hits. So now it's not looking good if you're God Squad, not even set up for a steal, because Gaimin Gladiators will go ahead and pull off that Zapdos KO, and now you have a full team wipe. So Gaimin Gladiators, I salute you. Maybe some Hundo Duncans. We'll see if they surrender, but this is tough.
Yeah, that surrender, definitely the smart play here. That was a tough end, but GG's. Gaimin Gladiators going to take match 2 from this best of 5. You know, it's so interesting because you often talk about, okay, how is, you know, how is God Squad going to adjust this next game? But really what we also saw here was Gaimin Gladiators adjusting to the way that God Squad plays. You know, even though they took game 1, you know, they were able to adjust and be even more forceful, more aggressive this game than we saw in round 1. You know, they were very wary, I think, of surprises and different playstyle changes, and yet this go around it feels like they had like locked on to what they were going to do. We're very confident. We see that consistent lead right there from that mid part of the game forward, and just able to carry that momentum through till the end of the game, not allowing the rest of the team to score at all.
600 points to 61 right there as a final score. Definitely, you can see the illustration here on the board. I mean, at 2.5 minutes or so, 3 minutes, we can see that snowball effect. It really did favor the Gladiators, though. So like that last game, you know, I can see what Steph was saying about God Squad needed to make a comeback. They needed to try to figure out, how do we get around this? How do we adjust? And Gaimin Gladiators was not letting them do it. And so when you're going up against a juggernaut team like that, I mean, hey, Link Boy is saying, GG, stop being so mean to God Squad. I mean, GG will come out and stomp. So I don't know. The Gaimin Gladiators, it's like, if we want to use those Gladiator movie quotes, I think one of them is, death smiles upon you, Gladiator smile back, you know? And so they know what they're doing. It sometimes is not pretty, but we'll look at that score, that damage breakdown. I'm so sorry. Here we go. There it is. That's going to paint a picture for you as well. Obviously, Zealot, you know, going to represent for the God Squad, but look at the Gladiators. It's 74, 70K, and that's as the Cramorant still, but Lutano, 45. We're looking solid. I'm starting to run out of words, which is very, very tough for me. Even with a hoarse voice, I'm starting to run out of words. By that, I mean this team is putting my jaw on the ground, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself looking at those numbers here. And again, you saw beautiful from Zealot, 57,000. The other team was doing that damage, but just not able to kind of bring it home. It's just tough. And Iron Fortress, Gaimin Gladiators have proved tonight to be. It's been, a great set of match. Both players really showcase some great stuff. But going into this game too, it just really felt like Gaimin Gladiators, like they locked on. They were able to just go in and kind of secure that victory.
Well, Lutano, while you're throwing in the hundo Duncan, I actually also maybe want a croissant. Is that, would that be a good one? Yeah, so pick me up one of those because I'm starting to get hungry. We've been casting this here for you guys. I hope you've been joining us here on this, the Victory Road Unite Clash number 10. We've been going live for almost 3 hours right here. We are ready, though, for Game 3. Going into the finals, the grand finals, I should say, but if this game is won by the Gladiators, they are going to take this entire tournament. And of course, we do have a $500 total prize pool, money on the line at all these Victory Road Unite clashes. Sorry for my voice. I really hope people aren't noticing that. I can notice it just because I'm me. Steph, my bestest friend. I was like, I know that she can probably make me feel a little better about that.
Press 1 if it's not that noticeable. Do it.
I appreciate it. And so Steph and I are hanging in here. But again, Lutano, Dunkin' Donuts, can you guys hook us up? Thanks. All right. So anyway, Steph, what are we thinking? I mean, God Squad, they've got the difficult path forward. You would have to win all these next games. You're going up against the Juggernauts, top 1 team. You think about it. What can we see? I mean, there's not a whole lot we can say.
It's tough. It's not impossible. And I think at this point, you just got to go in and you got to just do your best. Have fun. There is just a lot of just mental prowess you need to have, to be able to come back from like a 2-game, but you can do it. And I think, you just got to keep trying something, try and adjust, be a little bit different. I think, as you continue to play against the same team, you start to notice patterns. So I think maybe playing outside of the box. And like you said earlier, it's very easy for us to stand behind the desks and say, oh, maybe you can try this approach. And it's like, yeah, Steph, well, you try playing as the number 1 team and making these adjustments. But, sometimes you just need that element of surprise when you are facing against such a talented team.
Well, we really appreciate it. Digizard right there saying not notice a thing, Dr. K. Thank you. It's of course not about me. I just, had a little bit of insecurity on it. But Zugrug, join us in the chat right there. Thank you, big fan. I really appreciate it. But once again, we'll see the teams switch sides here. And so, of course, Gaimin Gladiators now representing for that purple squad. And the orange will be our God squad right now. Look at this. Goof's still going to be locking in on that Venusaur right here. So liking that over the Blastoise. But we do see, of course, Blastoise still representing on God Squad. We just have to wonder, Zealot, what are you going to throw at us? Are you going to stay with that Lucario? Or are you going to throw us a Machamp?
I know. That's what I want to know. I'm so curious. Part of me wants to see the Machamp just because it is something different. You have an L. Oh my gosh. Well, we're seeing a Trevenant. This is even more exciting than I was hoping for.
Let's do it.
Love seeing this. Okay, we're seeing Zealot rocking a Trevenant. Dr. K, have you gotten to see Zealot play as a Trevenant before? I'm not sure if this is our first time getting to see Zealot be a Trevenant.
Well, it's one of those things. I'd like to just tell the truth rather than try to make up something or whatever, but I am ashamed to say that I've never even seen God Squad actually playing, and so it has been a treat today. Zealot, if you're listening to me today, I'd love to add you so I can spectate you on my channel and stuff for the future. Wonderful play I've been seeing by you. If you can rock this Trevenant, I was about to say Zealot, but if you can rock that Trevenant, you might see something just like Lutano yesterday, right? That's what we saw was in the May finals. Lutano pulled out that Trev at the last moment when maybe people weren't expecting it. And so rocking with that Trev, I shouldn't even say at the last moment, actually. I'm starting to trip over all my words here. But Zealot, here's what you got to look for. You got that, of course, life-stealing abilities. You can curse, you can life-steal. Generally, the Horn Leech, so we might be looking at that. It also has, on a base level, like Blastoise's Surf, Horn Leech allows you to push things back. So let's say you're pushing a Rotom objective closer to you, maybe just pushing this Corphish early on, when you're getting into these battles. There's a lot to be said about that and the lifesteal. So be looking for all of it. We're hoping for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to see that. It does take a little bit to get there, right? Level 7, you get Horn Leech. So until then, this little cute Phantom does have to play a bit more defensively. He's not going to be able to take on both Toon and Lutano alone. But we are going to see Dragonair come up top to help out. And then otherwise we do see, yeah, more defensive style for sure, waiting for that core fish before those 850Bs. They're about to appear, try and get those levels, try and get that experience, hovering around, and they're beautiful like an orchestra right here. Everyone's come to fight together and see who can secure those. So it did look like God Squad got quite a few, if not most of those right there.
And so we do want to point out, of course, Anonymous playing as the Dragonair currently, but Dragonite player. This was something that we were hoping was going to pay off for them in an earlier match. Unfortunately, I don't know that it entirely did. It's not without saying, though. I mean, you can use that Draco Meteor, the Impact. Draco Impact is what I meant. And we are going to go ahead and actually pull Indy out of this picture. So this is good. You don't want more disruption there in your central area. So it was like they were expecting that. So I like to see this from God Squad. But notice, though, of course, making it up with Lutano. I'm going to go ahead and dunk in some smaller point values on the top.
Yeah, and that was a clean KO right there. You know, using that hyperspace hole not just as a way to pivot and get positioning, but does a little bit of damage too and get that knockout. Bit of an AoE move in a way to just get a little bit of damage there. And so, you know, we do have a 750 on the clock. Right now we're looking at 79 for Gaimin Gladiators and 0 God Squad. Still very early on. It looks like, yeah, that top goal with just 1 to break, looking for that nice overcap. But otherwise, these teams are just, you know, playing their standard, you know, get that experience, playing again. Okay, they were seeing the hyperspace hole to kind of do that pivoting that we've been seeing all tournament today. And yeah, just kind of getting that farm until that next set of Bs, that next odd no, and then go for that first objective.
I just want to make a production note real fast that I'm actually neglecting to make earlier. I wish I did, so I kind of regret that. But if you're not an authorized user, please do not re-upload these VODs or anything to your channel. This is, of course, the property of Victory Road if you're not an authorized user. So with that aside, we're looking at 10 seconds left until that Dreadnaw and Rotom are going to be on the map. Usually that hyperspace hole is on the goal, so we just saw it there. And so I think we're ready, but you know who's not ready maybe is some of these players dropping on God Squad right here. That's not what you want to see before a Dread.
Really, really unfortunate timing, but also masterful play from Gaimin Gladiators, because without those two players, that was an easy secure for Gaimin Gladiators. Now going to be able to cap on that bottom goal. We're seeing a huge 30 come in from Goof, and look at that. Everyone is able to come together and break that bottom goal. That's going to make it really tough for that second Dreadnaw. You're not going to really have that ability to get not only your HP back, but the hyperspace hole as well. You'll have to be teleporting from further away on the map.
If you want like an example of exactly where you should position when you have this team comp right now, GG just showed it to you. So you had about 3 kind of sitting on top of the goal, but you had Zug, of course, putting his body on the line as that tanky Bliss, going to go up in the front, and then you had Cramorant sort of in that front middle. So that was exactly the picture-perfect layout. You know, if you could take a snapshot of that, maybe somebody go back, clip that, screenshot it, whatever, if you're looking for this kind of thing, that was the picture-perfect moment. So GG showing you why they are just literally sometimes perfect in this game when nobody can really even be perfect, you know? So that was a marvel to see. We're now looking at 2:11 here in that close to 5 minutes on the map with 15. Indy trying to pull some jukes, but will be taken out of here at the last second.
Always hurts to see try to make an escape, but it was just not enough. Oh my goodness, and here are these team fights really able to secure these knockouts. I mean, look at these levels on Gaimin Gladiators. Look at this level disparity thanks to that Dreadnaw. I mean, you've got Lucario at level 11 getting that unstoppable. You've got Cramorant at level 11. So really, we need to see God Squad make up that experience. You know, now you do get these odd nos. You know, you're seeing all of these knockouts. I mean, look at this. 5 KOs already from Cramorant and 5 on that Venusaur with Goof. It's just incredible, Dr. K.
Yeah, 5 assists on Cramorant. I guess you're saying it in the 4 KOs. Yeah, you're right. But Trevenant right now going to be cursing the forest, aren't we? You know, looking for that. We need something like that to pull off some of these Gaimin Gladiators. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Now, this is what we were talking about with Dragonite, though, is that you can just Draco Impact in, even from afar. And so they are going to try to assist with this because this Rotom touching down, unfortunately for God Squad, GG did exactly what they wanted with that, I think, and now they have the advantage of hitting this Dreadnaw up, so they will secure that as well.
Keeping that momentum, keeping those levels. Gaimin Gladiators are being a powerful force right now. We do see the team starting to circle around up the top lane, needing to kind of retreat and regroup, reevaluate which way they're going to go. I mean, it's still a bit of time left for that next objective to see as a distraction. So there's a lot of difficult decisions that need to be made right here. We do see Blissey and Hoopa hanging out, having a good time on God Squad, getting those experiences. That's really what's needed here. But they are doing a good job with that, starting to catch matchup level-wise, and Zealot just trying to, you know, make some pushes here and grab those experience points.
This is what we were talking about before with Trevenant as well. You put down the curse, so there it is. It's going to be that purple ring around Trev for anybody just on a basic level that wants this, but also then you usually follow up with the Horn Leech. Curse is going to take some life away from you, while Horn Leech is going to bring some life to you. Of course, Curse has some other benefits too. You're not just losing life for the fun of it or whatever, but here we go. The Forest is down once again, and then Trevenant down right after it. So it's unfortunate because you're trying to make some useful, you know, plays with that Unite move, and of course you generally just at a base level also get that speed, get that boost after a Unite, and then you can't make something happen with it if you're taken down right there. I'm sorry, I'm talking too long because we got a lot happening on screen, folks. Anyway, 3:20 on the clock. We're going to be looking for that final stretch in just a little over a minute. It is going to be getting down to the wire.
Yeah, it's a tough one for God Squad, but definitely don't want to count them out just yet. We do have a Rotom objective up, and we do have the third Dreadnaw getting ready to spawn. Oh, we do see some caps starting to happen as well. Gaimin Gladiators keeping that pressure on 387 to 15. Oh man, all the goals are gone. This is rough. It's going to come down to the Zapdos to be able to get all of that. Not only securing that Zapdos, but being able to score. I think that's really God Squad's out here, Dr. K.
Right, and so you pointing that out, Gaimin Gladiators is going to know that too, and so here's the unfortunate thing for God Squad is that GG is going to really protect that Zapdos. I mean, that Zapdos is going to have the Secret Service. It's going to have the FBI. They're going to be ready, you know, for that Zap play. And so if you can prepare for it, this is kind of how you do it too, because look at this. God Squad is going to have to re-up, and they are going to have just enough time, barely, but like that's really going to throw you off. You want that positioning. You want every advantage that you can get, and you're not going to have it here.
Oh, what a rough one. Now the Rotom being secured by Gaimin Gladiator is just something else to be thinking about and having to move and fight. But it does seem like they're going to ignore that Rotom there, that distraction, not falling for it. Here we go, the final stretch, 2 minutes on the clock. The aggressive plays, oh my goodness, getting knocked out so fast. Wow, bursting down, taking advantage that the other team hasn't even arrived yet. Oh, but...
Right side team!
God Squad, straight away! Holy cow! Anonymous securing the Zapdos. What an epic snipe. This is an opportunity to go. Let's see what happens.
Let's see if Pokemon Unite can run on those Hundo Dunkins, you guys. They're going to need it to come in. They are trying to stop that Rotom, though. GG did everything they needed to stop this advance, but that was everything that God Squad needed. You come in with that Draco Impact. What was I saying at the beginning, Steph? Was that Dragonite would possibly be the edge when we throw in the mechanic of the Draco Impact coming in out of nowhere. It's an RKO out of nowhere, if you remember that dead meme. Anyway, folks, this is it. So Goof is going to drop down right here from Blastoise. Looking solid. God Squad, you got a minute left. Can you make this push? GG is expecting it on that bottom path, but we are going to have that slobber knocker slugfest going down. Steph, call it like it is.
I am on the edge of my seat right now. Gaimin Gladiators looking to play extremely defensively and just stop these big KOs. It's going to take from God Squad, you know, a big team knockout. It looks like, oh my gosh, Lutano is going to secure that KO. Lutano is saying, not today. Zealot taking a ton of damage, but trying to push out the teammates, allowing for a score, but unfortunately, they're dropping like flies, Dr. K. Gaimin Gladiators is not letting God Squad score today. It was an excellent push, really close there, but now with the remaining time left, no team is able to make it across the map in 20 seconds and score.
That might have been their last window, and I would say it's almost certainly, but you know what Gaimin Gladiators did if you missed it, just in case. The push against God Squad to defend there was to take out that Hoopa. Hoopa can be very advantageous if you're trying to make that last push because you can just continuously hyperspace in and out. You put that hyperspace behind your team when that team fight's doing it, all just keep teleporting in, teleport out. Cramorant underneath the ground right there saying, hey, I'm going to anti-ostrich and keep my head be the only thing out here on that dive. But yeah, you guys... GG was on it, but God Squad, I hand it to you, you know. I'm definitely saluting that last push. 387 to your champions, Gaimin Gladiators here. I salute you to 163 from God Squad.
Woo! GG's. Both of these players did amazing. Honestly, even without securing that final victory, that was such an intense last match. I was on the edge of my seat. Really, it came down to being so close. Very smart plays from Gaimin Gladiators to take out that Hoopa at the end there, but there was beautiful pushing. There was everything was just so masterfully played, and that was very, very exciting. And not to mention that, you know, with this 387, you know, Gaimin Gladiators pushed goals very early on, you know, so that was just, you know, so much pressure and advantage early in the game. That's what was really difficult. Like without that early push, you know, there's a chance that this game could have gone a different way.
Yeah, but you're looking at that damage. This paints the picture too. I mean, you notice Lutano with that 96k. You got the 95k on that Cram. Deadly, deadly Toon. Toon has really. This is a player that started off amazing in the scene. We're talking about from day one, week one, whatever. Rocking socks, and then somehow was able to still come into even more of his own and top even the skills that he already had and just become this like major juggernaut force. So Toon, I gotta hand it to you. It's always really fun to watch you. I salute you, and God Squad, so fun. Zealot, if you're listening to me today, please add me. I want to spectate you. And yeah, this was just incredible, you guys. So you got to hand it to it. Maybe give some applause for both of these teams. You never want to, you know, doubt the losing team either. You know, they are going to take that second place. God Squad showed that they came to play today, okay? So please.
I'm a new fan. I'm a new fan. I really loved what I got to see today. It was really fantastic.
Yes, so please give your hands up for God Squad, and then when you're done with that, celebrate our champions today. Gaimin Gladiators going to secure yet another victory for tourneys. You know, they're coming off, though, a point where they were actually losing the first place spot. For them, they say that's an L. For us, you know, they want to take that first all the time. But lately, and I'm not talking May, but I'm talking a little bit before that, a lot of the tourneys before that, Gaimin Gladiators was a bit disappointed. You know, even Goof has been tweeting some of those more sad tweets that we don't like to see, but he was saying, I'm sad, you know, we're not winning here. And so here it is. There you go. That's our trajectory, Steph, of what happened today. Victory Road, Unite Clash, number 10, featuring GG Tour.